morning, Joey. It's raining. We all need the rain, right? Every once in a while. Can you hear me okay, Joey? Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit, up and down and all around. So, good morning. It is September 6th, 2025, and it's Saturday. I got my friend Joey here, who's very observant. But, yeah, I um, I did a live yesterday with a friend of mine. Was She wanted to do it on decluttering, and I kind of like changed it with my ADD. You know how my mind goes boop 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 all over the place. So oh, nothing much. I just got a new machine because we have a laser machine. We're trying to learn it, and being 60 and above, it's like hard to learn this technology, like a laser machine to make mugs and engrave things. So yesterday we got a different machine, and I'm just thinking, I hope I can learn how to do this. But it's easier when you have somebody who knows about technology sitting next to you and showing you what to do. And then, you have hands on. Um, that's the way I learn. So, it's like, ugh, I can't learn this stuff. And like my laser machine, you pay all that money for it, and it didn't come with a manual or anything. You pretty much had to feel your way around, and there was no YouTube videos on it because it was a brand new product. It's that Recreate laser machine. Now they have more of them out, but um, like you can buy jigs and stuff. A jig is something that you can like put the pencils in this like it's like a thing made for like put pencils in it, and you program your machine to engrave on the pencils, like um, for like little kids and stuff, or people that want to have their pens engraved or whatever. Yeah, I know, no manual. That's like, a lot of things. You have to download the manual. And even with an iPhone, years ago, our phones came with that real thick manual. I don't know how old you are if you remember that, but it used to come with a real thick manual, and I'd go through it and find all these different things you could do. But um, with the iPhone nowadays, nope. Because my son made me change to the iPhone so we could, um, do the FaceTime and all that, because I think back then the Android had a hard time with that. So we got some more people coming in. Thanks for hitting the like button. Well, we lost half of them. We had 8 and others 4. They're like, no way. So what are you up to this weekend, Joey? Did you watch any of Ray's trip, his road trip? Because you're in the Dasher community, aren't you? I watched part of it, and Wendy was reading the messages. His wife, Wendy. Is anybody else there with Joey there who wants to say hi? If you could hit the like button, that would be so appreciative. It's raining here in the Berg. It's gloomy and cloudy, but it's kind of nice when that happens on a Saturday or a Sunday. You can just take a nap and cuddle with your loved ones or your little pets or whatever. like a lazy day, because you really can't go out and play. So, wait, there are a couple more people here. No, I have Big Three Dasher on YouTube, but no one else, I think. Yeah, yesterday Ray was going to meet some YouTubers, and a bunch of them are meeting somewhere at some restaurant. Sounded like fun. He cracks me up, you know. And DJ's, oh, he's such an awesome guy, don't you think, Joey? Yeah, it's just, you know, I never take lazy days, but I think today I might do that. I really want to figure out this new machine, though, but I think I should probably get some rest because I know I'm going to get frustrated. So, let's see, anybody else? Justin's not here yet. My hubs is still sleeping. He is a great guy. He's helped me so much in my life, like on YouTube. So, all right, then I guess we'll get started with this, Sarah DJ. The topic today is inner peace. I claim peace in prayer and share it generously. It is the law of spirit that we must be, that which we would draw to us. If we would have peace and harmony in our environment, we must establish it within ourselves. Hello, Clint. Um, I want peace in my every interaction and circumstance, which means I must ground myself in the assurance that God is peace and I am that peace in expression. In quiet confidence, I affirm these words after a restful interlude in the silence. Boy, that's like, I have you know how they have those pictures with a word and the definition, and it's a noun or whatever. I have the word peace, and it has the definition, the inner feeling of, calm. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to just be at peace, just at the end of the day, and you lie in bed, and it's just, you're at peace. Hey, Dean, how you doing? I'm doing okay, Clint. How are you? What are you up to today, Clint? What do you guys feel about having peace? Do men worry about that stuff too? Like at the end of the day, do you just want to have some peace? Or are you just like zonk right out? That's what my husband usually does. He zonks right out. Because he always has a hard day. Peace guides my thoughts and expresses through my words and my actions. I am kind. I smile. I am loving, positive, and joyful. I am the peace I want to see in the world. So we have to be what we want to be around them. We have to be kind in order for kindness to come back to us. Because, like I said about, I'm not sure yet, just relaxing now, listening to you, hon. Okay, so I always think about, like, I work for a bunch of nuns, but the one nun, she was so cranky. She was our principal. And she was just miserable. And every morning I would say, Sister Judith, how's your leg doing? Because she had a knee problem. And, she was still hobbling around. And like, if it snowed after school, I would see her car covered with snow. And I would, I wasn't trying to get brownie points, by no means. There's no brownie points with that woman. But I would clean off her car before I, cleaned off mine and went home. But I just did it kind of out of respect. And I kind of felt sorry for her because, hi, Clara, how are you? But I felt sorry for her because, being a nun, she had a roommate, but like, it's kind of a lonely life if you ask me. I don't know. So you have to pretty much do for the church, and you pretty much have to follow everything that your church wants you to do. I mean, you don't have to want for anything. If you need a car, they'll get you a car. If you need shoes, they'll get you shoes. But like she didn't really experience love, if that's what I'm saying, or intimacy. Like I just can't imagine just being told by someone, the church, what to do, how to do it, and where to live and everything. So if you can be anything in the world, be kind. Yep, that's what I live by. I try to be kind. I start out, I smile, and if they don't smile back, then I'm just like, "Oh, how you doing?" Or something. And sometimes I surprise people because my personality. I'm just, yep, it's really rainy. Um, my personality can be too much for some people. Because in the morning I am raring to go, but I joke around a lot. I try not to take life too seriously. But when there's a gentleman that holds the door for me, and I say, "Geez, your mom raised a very nice young man," and they just smile, or I'll say, "Thank you, handsome," or something, or I just try to be kind to them, and boy, this one boy yesterday, his face lit up, and I was just like, yeah. So then he just like bebopped away to his car. It was at the gas station. So I just try to, you know, be a little bit of a ray of sunshine in people's lives. Just to, there's a lot of people out there that are lonely, and I was one of them. Sometimes I'm still lonely, but that someone, they go out, say to the grocery store, right, and someone says, "Wow, your hair really looks nice today," and they don't have anybody else in their life to do that. You can tell who these people, because they look so sad, and you did that, just like just those little words of just taking those little words and saying that to them made their day. Just like when people leave comments, if you have a channel, they leave comments on their kind words on there, kind of makes your day, right? And then you say something back, and then oh, look who's awake. Good morning, Big D. Um, Daryl. Um, but sometimes, it's nice to get a nice comment from people, and that I had one of those people that, like, I don't know if they're, I keep calling them headhunters, but those people that write to you and they say, "Oh, I can make your channel so much better," and your views are low, and da 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 da. But the first letter they send you is like really complimentary, like they put all these compliments. "Oh, I stopped by and saw your channel. It's so awesome. You have a real gift for blah blah blah," right? And the next time they send you a message like, "But your numbers are really low." It's like, wait a minute, you just said my channel is awesome. And then they just keep sending me these messages, and I'm just like, "Well, wait a minute, you said it was and they said this one sends me the same thing, like every other one is the same one, like it takes turns, and it's just like keep deleting it, but I don't know how they get back in there. So, but it's funny, but if we could just show a little bit of kindness, because there's so many lonely people, guys, and um, even some parents, their kids grow up, and uh, their kids grow up and they don't visit, they don't call, you know. It's like they get real busy, which I understand. Life is really, really busy and such, but you can't take, like, on a Sunday, just an hour to call to catch up with your mom. Even if it's twice a month. How about that? And you have a date that your mom can look forward to, or your dad to look forward to. The Oh, my son's going to call today, and they wait for you to call, and it's something exciting for them to look for, because as you get older and older, I'm talking like in your 90s or whatever, like people just get because I'm not going to say 60s old, because that's how old I am. But it's just even at my age, because I have one son who my oldest son, he doesn't talk to us, and it's been like, oh, I think it's been 6 years now. And it's just disheartening, because we just don't know what is going on with that. Like, why are you, you know uh what do they call that? I don't know. abandonment, or what, I don't know what they call it, separation of parent and child. But you know, it's just one day, it's just like, what the heck? Why aren't you talking to me? But it broke my heart. But I'm done getting uh crying over it. You know what I mean? Because you can't force someone to want to spend time with you. You know, if you break up with someone, you can't force them to love you. You can't force. I mean, I'm sure my son still loves us, but you can't force them to spend time with you. Or sometimes you can love someone, but you don't like them, right? Did you ever think about that? Like sometimes people, you know, you really care about someone, you really love them, but you just don't like them. And sometimes that happens. But I shouldn't laugh because um, it just happens. But yeah, so we have to like try to spend time. If you have your mom still in your order, you know what? Call your mom today or tomorrow, you know, or go visit and give him a big hug. I'm always telling my husband to go see his mom. He's lucky to still have his mom. Uh, but, you know, do those kind of things, just little things like that. Because one day, you know, they won't be there. I give a hug to everyone. That's why I always ask you guys for hugs. But I always give a hug to everyone because, you know, when they're leaving, because I never know if I'm going to see you again because tomorrow's not promised. You know, you'll say, I'll go see mom. We'll go over there next weekend. You know, and you never know. You never know with things like that, you know. A couple years ago, Daryl had an accident at work, and you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, you know, and no one called me and told me about it, and I'm waiting and waiting for him to come home, and we're always good with communication, and here he had an accident at work, and got hurt pretty bad, and they took him to one hospital, then they took him to another hospital because he had like a brain bleed, and um, so I have lots of hugs, Clint. But I didn't know where he was, and it was getting to be like, I think it was like 10:30 at night, and he gets off at 3:30. No one from his work even thought to call me. But you know, something really bad could have happened, and you always have to give that hug goodbye. You know what I mean? Yep, I need a hug too. You know, uh, what was it? You know, my on the other day, what was it? Thursday. It was my best friend's birthday, and he passed away. And I was then I started missing my mom. You know, and it's like, boy, I really need a hug. So, you know, sometimes you just need a hug. Don't hug, like if someone really gives you a hug, like not one of those side pat things. Those aren't worth it. Don't even give me a hug if you want to give me one of those. You know, but a real a hug with feeling, just like when you shake someone's hand when you meet them. Don't be a wet noodle. Come on. Put your hand in there, a firm handshake. I'm not saying squish their hand, but you know, just a little squeeze there to show that, you know, yeah, I'm genuinely happy to meet you. Hey, Rhett, YouTube. How are you, kiddo? You doing okay? I can call anyone kiddo because I'm old. So, um, yeah, Daryl says bear hugs. My older son, he gave really good hugs. Really good hugs. So does Matthew, my younger son, too. But, um, it's just nice to have a hug. Hmm. So, so what do you guys think about having this peace and is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. And then the from Luke chapter 178. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I hope you come back. Um, the dawn from on high will break upon us to give light to those who sit in darkness, and in the shadow of death to guide our feet into the way of peace. Wow. You know, I always talk about my dark hole, and I know it's coming November, December, because I always get depressed during holidays, and I don't even know why. I don't, you know, but it says the dawn from on high will break upon us to give light to those who sit in darkness. So like the lonely people in that, and in the shadow of death to guide our feet into the way of peace. Yeah, that's what I search for in life. I just want some peace. You know, why do some people just want to cause drama? Let's talk it out. Remember I was telling you guys yesterday, those of you that were here, about my two friends, Mike and Elizabeth, how they were arguing like over money. She borrowed 150 and then he broke some stuff for $50, so she was going to pay him back $100. And but she was having a little bit of a difficult time because times are rough, you know, to pay him back because she needed it for her tires to get to work. But so he's like texting her that you know what, then I don't think we should be friends anymore. And I was over $100. They were friends over 40 years. Now I didn't get the update. I did not call either one of them because they called and got me in the middle. And when people do that to you, don't ever say anything. Just sit, listen, and shake your head, because they'll go back when they get to be friends again. They'll go back and say, "Well, Sally said this," or "Sally, you know, no, I did not say anything." Right, right. So, yep. Hi, Red. Uh, so it's like you know, it's just craziness. Just have some peace. Talk it out, people. You know, if you can make, say, tell Elizabeth, if you can make payments $20, you know, a month or something, and we'll get it taken care of. But you know, $100 though. I mean, I'm not rich, but I would rather just forget about the $100 and still have my friend, because I don't, you know, they needed it, and I know they're having some hard times. So you know, and then they'll pay me back when they can, because he certainly doesn't need the money right now. And it's just it's just crazy. So inner peace, like, I'm sure they're not having inner peace with each other now, or you know, thinking bad thoughts and stuff. But we always have to keep Jesus in our heart. Hi, Reptile. How are you? Red, do you feel like if you have an argument with someone, do you feel like that you can forgive them, and when you do, it makes you feel better? Rat, do you feel that way? Do you feel that, you know, I don't know. I think that instead of harping on something and, you know, just have forgiveness and don't think about it anymore, because that just, boy, does that eat you alive, doesn't it? You're good, Reptile? All right. How you starting off your day? Is it daytime for you wherever you are? Are you in USA? So, Rhett, what do you think of that? Rhett YouTube? I think that's what the YT stands for. What do you think about the having peace? Are you searching for peace, or do you just take one day at a time and what you get, you get? It's 1:03 a.m. for me. So it's Sunday morning. Oh. Yeah, he's Big D. Yeah, he's a moderator. He's my husband, so of course I have him for a moderator. Um, so, but yeah, I think that's the only one that's here. I think Dean was here earlier, but a lot of people must be sleeping in today. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, have a good day, beautiful Sally. I might be back then. All right, kiddo. Thanks, Clint. I really appreciate it. I hope you feel my hug through the universe. Oh, yeah, peace, right. You feel peace. You want to look for peace then? No, it's Saturday for me. Oh, so you're behind us. Okay, I gotcha. I hope you felt that hug, Clint. You know, get on with your day. So it's Saturday. So it's early, early for you. So what, you haven't really got your sleep yet, but what are you going to do? Oh, you're in the same state as me. Well, then, you know, we have to get together for a fire pit or something. Hello, Mama. Awake Shoe. How are you, my darling? How are you? Rat is at 7:05 a.m. or p.m.? Because I am 7:05 a.m. here. So you must be on the East Coast. Wake Shoe, what are you up to, kiddo? You're good? Are you taking care of yourself then? Refresh my memory. Did you go back to school? Or are you, I believe you were in school. AM. So you're over here on the East Coast, right, Rhett? So Clint said he lives in Pennsylvania. That's where I live. 2:05 p.m. there. Okay. I am used to staying up this time because I work 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. Oh, okay. My sister, she's a neonatal nurse and she works 7 p to 7 a. She's done it for years. I just don't. She but her kids, you know, she gets her kids off to school and then um she has the day free to sleep, you know, except for when they were little. She did it. But my mom, she had a house next door to my mom, so she kind of had it. USA, okay, Rhett. Okay. Oh, you're in Florida. My friend, he lives in St. Pete. And then I have another friend here. She's in Clearwater. So, but I've been meaning to go down there to St. Pete, but I don't know. I get worried about hurricanes and stuff. So yeah, that's nice. Reptile said that's nice, Rep. So oh, I forgot to move the camera. I'm making you guys. I'm making you guys look at that gloominess. I am so sorry. Um, there I am. Whoops. Oh crap. This there we go. There we go. Excuse my hair. It's still wet from my shower. But yeah, here I am. I forgot to move the camera. See that? See that? Mm-hmm. Oh, you can see my birdhouse is over here. Let me move this table. Let's see if you can see everything here. It's this gloomy, gloom and doom. I love when the sun shines in the house in the morning. It just starts off my day so beautifully. But oh man, I always have trouble with tripods. So good morning, Rhonda. How are you? I was watching you this morning. Well, you know that. When are you and your other lady, Maud, coming to Hawaii? Are you talking about um, Paula? I think it was Paula, huh? So you're in Hawaii. I don't know, Rhonda, you want to go off to Hawaii for a little bit? Reptile's going to host us. Gerald says, good morning to Rhonda. So, good morning, Big D. Sure, let's go. Oh my goodness. I haven't been on a beach in a long time, you know, or even a swimsuit for that matter. We used to have a pool. We had a 27-foot pool. We called it Lake Davis because it took up our whole yard. But, you know, the kids and their friends would, you know, play together and stuff. But uh, once they left, you know, there was no sense me cleaning that big pool all the time. Nobody was going in it. I forgot, but it was one of your mods saying y'all wanted to come. Yeah, we do. But it's so expensive. It's so expensive. I think it, because I live over here, like, wouldn't we have to get a, wait, we have to get a flight from, if we're on the East Coast, we'd have to get a flight from, trying to think where it would go. Would it go out from, I don't know. I don't travel that much. I got the dogs. So, yeah. LAX. Okay, that's what I thought, because that's where Trace is. So we can go pick up Tracy, and then we can all go. Oh, I'd love to spend the time with you and Rhonda and Tracy. Tracy's a very, very cool person, as are you. So, Yeah, we could stop. I'm not going to stop Seer. I'm going to go get her. Yeah. She's like a little sister to me. She's just a really awesome person. Hawaii is nice because your mascot is Lilo and Stitch. Ah, you like that. Um, sounds good. Hey Dee, do you have the your phone on? The sound? The sound is echoing off of my phone.
I'm sorry, I forgot to turn it
Yeah.
down when I came to give you your coffee.
Oh, okay, thank you. I got coffee now. I got coffee. Chiropractor appointment today.
All right.
So, and let's see. Reptile says, I guess he thought what she said was red. Okay. So I got my coffee in my cup, in a little camping cup, because this keeps it really hot. The other day when we took Daryl to the doctor on Thursday for his appointment. I forgot my coffee on the thing in the garage, and I came back and it was still hot. So that's a good cup. No offense. There you go. I don't like a lot of sports. I mean, when my kids played sports, then I like that sport. Does that make sense? But so uh if we it says peace guides my thoughts and expresses through my words and my actions. I am kind, I smile, I am loving, positive, and joyful. I am the peace I want to see in the world. So you express it through your words and your actions. You know, you don't even have to say anything. Excuse me, if you see someone um, coming and you're going in the door and you open the door for someone, you don't even have to say anything. They should say something, thank you or anything, but they see that you're a kind person to do that. And those little acts of kindness that I always give for examples, I mean, there's tons of other ones that are more extravagant, but just smiling at someone, that doesn't take much for you to do, right? Uh, and it just like, you're blessed in these things that we don't think anything of. God's blessing us for showing that act of kindness and showing that we care about others, and that's what God wants us to do. So because we have a loving, all forgiving God. Our God um is so forgiving, and he loves us all so much. And so I'm working with Rhonda at my self talk, because there's things that I say to myself that I would never, ever, ever say to anyone else. And uh, hey, Haley, you're back. You're back. Good. I'm so glad. But um, like self talk, like I can say the most cruel things to myself, and I really try not to, but it just comes out. I mean, it comes before I even think about it. It comes out, you know, and because I'm a talker anyway, but I talk to myself. I answer myself when there's no one here, but you know, uh, but the things I say to myself, if it was like a day in a life with me video, and I just videoed everything I did and said all day, you guys would be like, why would you talk to yourself that way? And I wouldn't even talk to any of you that way or a stranger that way. I gotta pick up my sister from work. I hope you and everybody in the chat has a bliss day. You too. Sally, my girl, what's up, pretty girl? Aw, thank you, Teen Minty. Thank you. What a blessed thing to say. I really that really makes my day. But I gotta learn self-talk. Do any of you have trouble with self-talk, or is it just me? Please tell me it's not just me. I'm like, you dummy, or things like that. And it's like then you start believing it. And not to play the blame game, but growing up, like most of you know, I didn't have a very good relationship with my father because he constantly put me down, and my self worth and my self confidence is horrible. And I've been working on it for 60 years, but it was always because my sister's a neonatal nurse and I'm a teacher, and he thinks that she's so much, smarter and better than me because her income's better. And I worked at parochial school and I made 23,000 when I left there. I only made 23,000 a year. That's a horrible salary, but I counted it as act of charity toward the church. Did I need more money? Yes, I did, you know, but he would always say those kind of things to me. But the thing was, I had more education than her, and I never threw that in their faces. No, I knew I had more education. Um, are you, Haley? We'll have to be accountability partners, Haley, and check on each other because yeah, he would just be, oh, you're stupid, just that, and when after my mom passed away and I was going back to work to find another teaching job, he said, no one's gonna want you. No one's gonna hire you. So I got my sage out because he was living with me at the time, and I got the sage out. I don't know if you guys ever do sage in your house. It's sort of just the same thing as the Catholic Church does around the altar, but I went all around it, and then I went where he was sleeping. I snuck in there and I went all around him, and I went to the interview, and I didn't tell him I had an interview that day, and I went to the interview and I got the job. He goes, where were you at? I said, I was on the interview. He goes, you're not going to get it. I said, they already hired me right on the spot. He's like, get out of here. you know? Um, you're scared of ADHD Sally? You mean me, ADHD Sally, or ADHD Sally? Because I feel scared. I'm scared of my ADHD and tomorrow. Oh, for school? Are you starting school? Wait, what's tomorrow? I don't remember you telling me anything about tomorrow, Teen Minty. Hmm, me, not you. Well, what's tomorrow? I don't remember you telling me anything there. Thanks for hitting the like button, guys. I really appreciate it. We never got our friend Sam back. Remember Sam was on here? I hope he comes back. You're doing a show? What kind of a show? Are you like on a dance team or anything like that? And if you are, then do you have to do it solo? See, that would be, yeah, that would probably be hard for me too. I had to take, when I was in college, I had to take, because I went back to school as an adult. I already had kids and everything. Um, a circus show. Are you in the circus, or is it just a show about the circus? I'm sorry, I'm a teacher. I have too many questions. That's like whenever I tell a story, I have to tell you every detail so you understand it. So, but when I was in college, I had to take public speaking. You have to take communication 101 as part of the core program. And I took it with my husband. So then I could just look at him the whole time. I don't have a fear. I can get up in front of 500 kids and I can do my thing. But when it came to adults, I was always like, ugh. I guess it's the fear of judgment because little kids, they kind of like look up to you still. And yeah, I guess it was like a fear of judgment. But it always worked out. Oh, well, I'm singing a Savage Garden song for the show. Oh, well, you'll do fine. Just practice and, you know, practice like showing your mom or whoever how you sound, and maybe they can give you a critique. Um, Minty girl, do it afraid. I still do stuff and I'm afraid. I did something new last night and I was afraid. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, Rhonda. Yeah, and but you did really well, Rhonda. You did. You did excellent. And you look so glamorous, Rhonda. And that's what's going to happen for Teen Minty. She's going to be up there all glam glam and being so beautiful with her voice and everything. It's going to work out. But you sure did, Rhonda. That's what, I think Peter said that too. Yeah, you did. Great poise. Remember to hold your shoulders back, Minty. Yes, and the fear will go away when you do it, right? And then you're like, why did I have such a fear of that? Like teachers, well, at least me, I'm going to say all teachers, but teachers have a fear on the first day of school. They have 20, 25 new people to meet, and those little kids only got one. They got the teacher to meet, but the teacher gets a little nervous too because what kind of kids am I going to have in here? Are they going to be rambunctious? Are they going to be shy? Are they going to be criers? You know, I'm trying to tell you something about the show. It's with Chris and Claire, okay? I'm listening, but I can't be quiet whenever I have a lot of other people here too, and I'm carrying on a conversation with a lot of people. Yes, and the fear will go away when you do it. First time we do anything, we have a fear. So, like the first day of school, then you gotta learn all those names and um, and then you have to meet all the parents too. All the parents. I think my son is here. I think Ace is here. Um, but you have to meet all the parents and everything. So, Teen Minty, you will be just fine. I'm gonna do it for you, Sally, tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay. Are you gonna send me a little recording of it? Can you do that through the email? Or are you gonna do a video? Do you have a channel? I can't remember. Teen Minty, do you have your own channel? Oh, you're gonna do it for me, like you're gonna be brave for me? I don't know. I don't like texting. My friends all want me to text. And then my friend Tracy showed me how to do audio, so I just talk into that. It's so much easier. But because when I talk into the microphone doesn't always write what I'm saying. And I don't like to proofread it. I don't like to text. Um, see what else. First time I do here. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how many of you like to text. I mean, a great encourager. Yeah, but there's a lot of things I'm afraid of too. But as I get older, Rhonda, I don't know about you. Like when you um as you get older, like I just get to the point where um I just get tired of worrying about what other people say or do because like when I go out, I try to make myself presentable. I mean, I'm not wearing my jammies to Walmart. Um and not always with makeup, but but at least my hair is done. I'm not like not done, but I'm clean, okay? But people don't look in the mirror when they leave, but I don't look like I don't know. People just judge everybody, and some of the younger people too, like they'll sit at there's not many malls left here in Pittsburgh, but sit on those benches and laugh at people as they walk by, and I just think it's so rude, or they say something rude, and I got to the point that I walk up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, did you say something? I didn't hear you." And they're like, but I say it wrong. I'm like, "I'm sorry, did you say something? I didn't hear you." And they just like look at you like, that woman's crazy. But um, the uh, the day is kind of gloomy, and I'm gonna find the bright spots in the day. They do, and we have no control over other people. Yep, we don't. So, so you got that way too, Rhonda. You just, oh well. What about on your channel, um, Rhonda, or anyone else, Teen Minty? Like, are you worried about what other people think, or things like that? I when I did my live with Rhonda, her first live, and I think I messed it up for her, but she says I did it. But I talk too much, as you know, and I don't think I should be on a live with anybody else because I get so excitable, and um, I say, like, I keep talking. And yesterday I was in a live with my friend Evie, and oh, it's cooler there now. Yeah, because you said it was like 100 something. So, but I was on my live with Evie yesterday, and she wanted to do it on decluttering, and I was all for it, you know. But I get sidetracked, like, you know, I don't know if it's my ADHD or what, but I get sidetracked and I start talking about something else and something else. She goes, "So we're gonna skip this title for this and call it blah blah blah," and I just laugh because. Um, you know, I know what's gonna happen. But then, like this morning, I was kind of like, I'm like, oh, you know, I was being too silly with her yesterday and stuff. But I don't know. But she said, no, you weren't. You were fine. And I was like, nah. I know Evie does come as calm, but I've seen a little bit more. Because I get her to say, "I'll see you when I see you." And then she goes, "I see you when I see you." I'm like, ah, you need more feeling behind that. And she's like, "I'll see you when I see you." And then, you know, then I said, "Come on, Abby." She's funny. She was shopping at Hobby Lobby and she took me with her. She's just such a great person. It's, you know, you get to learn a little bit more about them, just not on the camera and stuff. You know, like I talked to you on the phone, and Trace and that, and you get to know more about people and things like that. And I'm developing some really good friendships here on YouTube, and I'm really happy that I took that step when I was so lonely. And you know, now I'm starting to get, like the topic is today, inner peace. I'm getting that inner peace because um, all the communities all come together. Like my community, someone might sub to Rhonda's community or Paula's community. Um, and then, you know, my community and this community, but they're all one big community because we all love one another, like genuinely care about one another. Um, see, I love the story about their dog eating money. Yeah, that was Evie yesterday. Lean into who you are. You have a big personality, and I love that about you. Okay, well, you're one of the few that like my personality. I I never was loud like I am now. I was very, very shy, believe it or not. And I was, my friends, you know, they never swore in front of me or anything. And I was a little quiet Catholic girl who didn't eat meat on Fridays, and it would annoy them because they wanted to order pizza and with meat on it. But, um, you know, I was real quiet and everything. And then I just, after you have kids and things like that, and um, I don't know, I guess it was like when I turned 45, 50, I just said, you know what? I'm tired of this. And it says, Daryl says, it. Yeah, Evie's story about her dog eating money. Oh my goodness. I couldn't stop laughing. Were you there, Rhonda, yesterday? I almost peed my pants. I was laughing so hard. She told this story about her dog ate her husband's money, like $220. And every time the dog would go out to go to the bathroom, she would go out there looking for it. So, and then she said, and I washed it up and everything, but then I took it to work and exchanged it. She said that's money laundering. It's I don't. She told the story more in depth, but can you imagine your dog eating your money, and then you gotta go through the dookie? Um, Not me. Mm-mm. Not me. Money laundering. Yep, that's what she said. Money laundering. That's why you don't put money in your mouth, guys. If you're holding it, don't put it in your mouth. Ugh. My friend Kerm, the one his birthday when he passed away this week, he used to keep his money in his shoe. When he'd go through a register, he'd take his shoe off. It was like, or sometimes inside his sock, inside the shoe. And I was like, oh, and it was like damp sometimes, It's like the people just take it like, I would take it out of the shoe before I went up to the cashier. Then they wouldn't know that, so. So this weekend we're gonna work on, I got my new machine, and Daryl's probably gonna practice on his laser machine, or he can practice on this new machine, because we're trying to start a business very slowly, because we're not into technology, and we're really trying to learn it, but it's so intimidating to me. And I wish I had someone here just to show me how to do stuff. Bible verse of the day: the word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. No, the word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And the one I have in my book here says, it's from Luke 1, the dawn from on high will break upon us to give light to those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. That's from Luke 1, verse 78 and 79. That is a great verse. It is a great verse. There. Hello. Hello, Sam. Have you been here all along? I've been asking about you. It says a female customer at work used to keep her ID card money wrapped in a paper towel sheet in her bra. The paper towel was always wet when she unrolled it. Oh, Lavina, that's a beautiful name. And Rhonda says, hi, Sam. So today, Sam, just to recap real quick here for you, the the topic today was inner peace, and we're talking about claiming the peace that that we could have in our lives and in our heart, just by living the way we live and the way we act, the way we treat people. Because it says, I want peace in my every interaction and circumstance, which means I must ground myself in the assurance that God is peace. And I am that peace in expression. In quiet confidence, I affirm these words after a restful interlude in the silence. So, excuse me. So, Sam, do you ever take time for meditation? I try to do that. Like I told you, my mind never bees quiet. Everywhere I go, there I am. Blah, 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 blah. You think I talk too much for you? You guys can just scroll on over, But, oh, man. But, just to meditate on, the Word of God and things like that. Just, not even meditate on it. Like when I read something from the Bible, just sit back, close your eyes, and think about that. And sometimes I have to read it again and just keep thinking about it and figure out how it resonates in your life, how, you could use that information from the Bible, and how, it can make your life better. Peace that surpasses all understanding, peace from God that doesn't make sense to our human minds, that comfort that He is always in control. I have the same problem, Sam. My body has definitely seen better days, and I deal with pain on a daily basis. Okay, Teen Minty. I used to meditate. Now I just sit medicated, staring at the sky. Sam. I get what you're saying, though. When I'm having bad pain from my back and such, oh man, sometimes I wish I had medication, but my doctor does want to send me to the pain clinic, but some of those drugs are just too much because um, I'm too numb. I can't think right. So, um, let's see. Oh, nothing there. The same thing that Daryl said. I thought it scrolled up, but so I try to live my life as a Christian woman, and I raise my kids that way because I truly believe. I don't know how many of you believe this, but I feel like a family that prays together stays together. Daryl and I say our prayers in the morning together. Um, we say we have different readings we do from some books that go by the day of like the date, and we read from them. Yes, dependency on pain meds makes it worse, affects the mind. Yes, it does. My brother that I care for, he had that horrible accident, and he deserved to have, the oxycodone and that, because he was in intense pain. I mean, they took like that thick of skin off of his leg and put it on his side where I told you his intestines and that were um, hanging out to keep his. He deserved to have some kind of medication to take that pain away. But the problem is, he healed and stuff. He still has pain, but he wants that kind of relief. And you can't have that kind of relief. Like when you take Tylenol or ibuprofen, it takes the edge off. It doesn't take all the pain away. So, he's always wanting to, take him to the pain clinic and stuff like that. But, you know, um, they do a urine sample there and stuff, and he gets mad about that. But I don't know. I can't make everybody happy, and I try to alleviate his pain. But I still think that if you move, it'll make like, especially when you have arthritis, if you move and keep moving, sometimes I wake up so stiff and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But if I just sit there, it's just going to get worse. But once I start and get my day started and everything, it really feels a lot better. But I got to get on my regimen of the ibuprofen though, because the last couple of days has been really rough. I'm just trying to get things done when you have pain. The Bible is a book about self and Jesus Christ, is state of consciousness a person reaches, transforming and raising their frequency and vibration from a lower state of consciousness to a higher state. Oh, thank you for sharing that with me, Demetrix. So, let me see here. Huh. But I agree with you, Haley, too, about the God's in control. Haley, like, I don't know if you heard some of my other schmeals that I talk about, but I'm always trying to, because everybody tells me that I'm the glue, in our family. And I'm always, and then I get to the place where I have to be in control. I have to make sure, Matthew's safe, that my husband's, happy, that, this one has that. And did my husband take his lunch? I know he's a grown man, but I worry about him, having what he needs for the day. And then I wear myself out. Like when I was doing all that, plus taking care of my mom, I really lost my identity. I really lost who I was because after she passed away and then my dad passed away, I'm just like looking around. I'm like, now what do I do? Because I did that for like 2 or 3 years and, including my dad. But then when it came down to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done this for so long. And then before that, I had my job. So now I'm sitting here with no one to take care of. My kids were grown too, and no job. And it's just like, well, what am I here for? So that's why I'm in the morning. I get my shower. I get dressed from head to toe, all the way to my shoes. And I start my day because I don't want to just sit around in my jammies. And this makes me feel like I'm actually, um, I don't want to say worth something, but I'm earning my keep because I'm doing stuff around here, running errands and things like that. So, I don't know. I think it's cool if you're off. a day and you just lay around your jammies. But when you're retired or something like that, you still have to take care of yourself and get a shower and things like that. Because I know a lot of my friends who are retired that are older than me, sometimes they're just so lonely and depressed. Like they probably didn't have a shower for 3 or 4 days, and they don't leave their house. And you got to get out there. They have senior centers and all different kind of things that you can do as a senior that doesn't really cost anything. Um, but that's why I'm trying to look into visiting, shut-ins, and just to talk, spending a half hour with them, just to see how they're doing and such. Not necessarily take care of them or do any of that, but just to chit chat. Because I love to hear about like the old days before I was around, like like when my parents, when they were younger. I love hearing about the stories of what they did, and like what kind of places were there, and like say Sears. Remember Sears department store, and how they had the catalog, and that was their main store. It's just like stuff like that, that I'm really interested in. I guess it's sort of like history, but it's coming from the person who actually lived that life. So I guess now younger people will come to me so I could tell them the stories that I like to hear from older people than me. So, because I know what it's like without a computer or a cell phone. Could I still survive without it? Probably not, because you rely on your phones and that now. But I probably could survive without a cell phone or a computer if I had to. But it's I think it would be easier for me to do it than my son to do it, because he's known it his whole life, right? Just like I don't know how to do a lot of technology, because I didn't grow up with it, and it's second nature to you guys, because my son was on the computer at 2 years old doing different programs. What a blessing that would be to people who are struggling, Sally. You are worth it, and you do have the value. And it's lovely to see that you are trying to find ways to give yourself to others. Aw, thank you, Haley. I really do want to do that, because, like, my neighborhood here is all older people. Now, I have a young boy. He just graduated college and got a job. He's a man, but I call him a boy. Um, and all of these are, but my neighbor Jean across the street, she sits on her porch so all by herself, and she has her son who's older too. Um, but she just sits there, just staring into space. So what I said this before, but I have like a little bit of a hill in my front yard. It's not a real road or anything, and my house sits up on the hill here. I was gonna tell her she can come over my house. I'll put her in the truck, and then I'll drive up and then hit that bump. I can just hear her now going, hee, woohoo. My mom would do that. My mom was so quiet, but she'd do her little giggle spurts. But I want to do that, and then she just have to walk up like 3 steps here, to sit on the porch, and she can look down at everybody, and get off of her porch, because she's like, I don't have to buy flowers for my yard. I just sit here and look at yours. So, and sometimes I borrow. This year I didn't, because I didn't have the money. I usually buy her and my other 4 neighbors across the street a little mum, to put on their porch or in their yard. So, but they're just so expensive this year. I used to be able to get them for like, $2.48 or something like that, $2.48. Now they're like $5. It's like for a little tiny mum plant. So, um, it's just craziness. But I like to make things too, Haley. Um, I was doing a lot of things with acrylic, um, and making like with molds and stuff. It was fun. Hi, Rhett. Welcome back. But when I get this embroiderer going, I'll be sending you something. Um, so, Haley, do you do a lot of baking or cooking? Because you're called Homemaking Haley. Did you make the bird boxes behind you? No, I got those at the dollar Dollar Tree. They weren't a dollar. They were like $5. No, $3. I did my practicum during my master's. And, oh, wow. This is where I learned that giving another person my undivided attention is therapeutic. Yes, it is. Okay, so because I want to try to start making these aprons and stuff, Haley. So, and you have a channel too, right? So I can get your design off of your channel, or you would you ever go skydiving or bungee jumping? You know, I always wanted to do that, Sam. I did. I always wanted to do that, but I think now if I landed, I'd probably, because I need a new knee and my back problems are so bad. If there was someone down there ready to catch me, I'm sure I would do it. Bungee jumping too. I don't know. I have an artificial hip and I can't use one of those. What are those tables that you get on it and you go upside down? I know I've seen them before. Um, Another senior moment. I forget stuff all the time here. But you know those ones that all your weight goes on it. Daryl's gonna get it. Anti-gravity. See, I knew Daryl would come up with it. Inversion table. The inversion table. And my doctor said that I can't do that with a hip. And my back problems. Hello, anime. Zip lining. Ooh, I would do that, Sam. I haven't worked up enough gumption to post yet on the channel, but hopefully one day. Oh, come on, Haley. You have to. And I can help you any way that I can, because I'm not real good at it, but I do know how to do like editing a little bit. So, and if you need help, once you get 50 subscribers, you can go live. We could do a double screen. No, I just got done saying I can't do double videos anymore because I'm just too big mouth talking. You can do it, Haley. Sally was the same way. Do it, Haley. Yeah, my first video, this girl on here. Well, I had a channel years ago, but I was younger. I was smaller. I was, I was a kindergarten teacher, and it was all about my kindergarten classroom and how to teach, 5-year-olds different things. But so this girl, her name was God's Girl. She was on here, but she's not anymore. Um, but I found her, so we're still friends. I hunted her down, in other words. And she's like, do it. And I wanted to do it before January 1st, and I did. I had the video. She said, just push the button. She was on the phone with me. She's like, just push the button. And I did. And I was like, oh, I went into panic mode, because nobody really, I don't know what Pine View is. You're going to do another live with me for my channel. So there, okay. I gotta learn my manners when talking, but I get so excitable and things. So I told y'all, I'm like a big kid. I'm just I see everything through the eyes of a child. Being with 5-year-olds for so long, when I see a rainbow, I get excitable, and just the joy I have in growing plants and things like that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm not hurting anybody. So just be you on purpose, right? On purpose. Just be you on purpose. So anyway, it is 70 minutes now. I've chatted my little mouth away, and I have to go to my chiropractor because he always leaves early. He leaves at like 10 o'clock, and it's 7:49, and I gotta wait for Daryl to get ready. But it's far. It's like he moved. He's farther away. So I have another doctor that I just love to death, and I have to travel like half hour, 40 minutes to get there, where he used to be right down the street from my house. I bring energy to the live. Wah! I bring my son, whenever I used to do races and the race goes this way, and then the people who are really fast go this way, and I'm always cheering them. And Maddie's doing a couple races with me. He's like, Mom, you're giving them your energy. You're building them up with your energy. And I said, Matthew, I don't care about that, because I wasn't doing the race. I was just doing the race to say that I did the race. And I usually had a good time, as far as time on my watch. And he's like, well, you're giving them all your energy, all your positiveness. And I said, I'd rather do that because, look how good they're doing. So um, they were like, I didn't even make the loop yet, and they're already on their way back. Some of them people can do those races in less than 10 minutes, 3 miles, 3.1 miles. It's like, how do they do that? They're like, it's like, I'm just getting the pace going and they're already done. So, okay, right. We said hi to you a lot of times, honey. So, no one new came to the room, but I hope you guys have a good Saturday, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And if I don't see you tomorrow, then I hope you take time to call your mom. If you still have your mom, give your mom a hug, right? And your dad too. Spend time with family. That's what Sundays used to be, family day. They had the blue laws where they didn't have any stores open. I don't know if none of you guys know about that, but let's see what we say. It's a great day to have a great day. You know what else? Oh, Haley, come back, honey. I enjoy talking to you. And I'll see you when I see ya. Bye-bye, guys. If I could exit here.